Airports in BC saw a record number of people arriving and making refugee claims in 2023, almost double as compared to the year before. According to Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, last year from January to November, 630 travelers made refugee claims at BC airports. The year before, in 2022, that number was almost half at 350, and that took quite the jump back in 2015 when the province just saw 80 claimants for the entire year.
Because those who are coming to Canada to seek protection are not coming through the land border as they traditionally were.
The CEO of the Affiliation of Multicultural Societies and Service Agencies in Burnaby says the uptick in refugees arriving by air is most likely a result of the global crisis, ongoing wars, and the Canada-US Safe Third Party Agreement.
If somebody comes through the land border and makes a refugee claim at the border here in Canada, they can get sent back to the United States because it's deemed a safe third country. We know for many folks that's not actually the case. And so for those folks who feel that they are being persecuted in the United States, they're actually looking at other ways of coming into Canada through air.
Not all refugee claimants need support when they arrive in Canada, but many do. And that seems to be putting stress on local shelters. Solomon Atta with the Catholic Charities Men's Shelter says he's seen an increase in the number of refugees coming and seeking shelter.
October last year, the numbers increased, and we had about 50% of our shelter space being occupied by refugees at the time. That increased to 56 in November. And as at the end of last year, December, we had 60% of our regular shelter space being occupied by refugees.
We're at a point in history where we have the highest numbers of forcibly displaced persons around the world. And Canada is one of the countries that are looked at as being, a humanitarian country.
Katya Avalos with the Multi-Agency Partnership says Canada is one of the hardest countries to immigrate to legally. So many are forced to prove they are not safe in their country and need asylum here.
IRCC, the Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada, imposes severe restrictions to acquire a visa to come to Canada. So it's actually quite telling that despite all of that, the number of arrivals keeps going up because people are just desperate to find a safe place.
Crocker says her organization sees that once a refugee claimant settles in, they do very well in Canada.
They are resilient, they are resourceful, they are motivated to make a good life for themselves here in Canada. They're not here because they're country shopping. They're here because they need somewhere to live where they can be safe, where they can be given an opportunity.
In Vancouver, Angela Bauer, City News.